one more exciting conversation. I have Andrew here with me. The reason I got very excited about having a chat with Andrew is because he started talking about James Bondy stuff, right? So without further ado, Andrew basically works in the electronics industry that supplies to prime contractors such as Lockheed Martin to the military. So there's a lot of electronic stuff that's happening in the military, which is quite cool and sexy. So without further ado, Andrew, you're a solutions architect as well, and tell us a little bit more about the James Bondy stuff that you were talking about on the plane.
Now, James Bond was your phrase, not mine, but it is exciting. I guess one way of summing it up would be in the word information. In a sense, today's world is increasingly characterised by information. Sharing information flow, and the military business is really no different from that. Typically in military installations you're seeing, whether that's in a tank, a fighting vehicle, a patrol vehicle, a naval platform, a fast jet, you almost end up with what you might call sensor overload. There's cameras everywhere pointing in every different direction to give you a view of the outside world. But still, you normally only have one or two operators. How do you combine that information? How do you present it? How do you make sense of it? There will be other inputs. There will be radar, multiple radars. There could be acoustic inputs. There will be sensors for position and direction. And our business really is making sense of that and presenting that information in a combined, effective way, such that the operator isn't submerged by information overload, but can make best sense of what he's seeing. And that often involves what we refer to as situational awareness, such that an operator in an enclosed vehicle can actually see the world around him 360 degrees, horizontally, across, up, all the way around in the hemisphere that surrounds him, so that he can actually tell what's going on outside without being exposed to it.
So what does that mean? Does that mean that my guns will start shooting the minute they sense a threat without my sensing a threat? Is that the way it works?
We normally talk about assisted threat detection rather than automatic threat detection. So often, yeah, it'll mean actually doing some fairly advanced image processing to take the video signal and to say there's a threat emerging here. There might be somebody emerging from cover. There might be the detection of a heat source, something like that. Either something moving or something static that wasn't there before. And that's where today's advanced processing techniques can really give you the edge by assisting the operator, not replacing the operator, but by assisting him rather than giving him information overload by raw material, as it were, filtering that material until it's at a level where he can make sense of it, he can process it without impairing his operational usefulness. So that's the business we're in.
Brilliant. And surely Murphy's Law obviously has got a lot of benefits for you as well, right? So with improving processing power, improving graphics, improving visuals, improving everything in the consumer world that we are seeing today, obviously there's a lot of change that's happening in the military world as well in terms of how the technology is evolving. Would that be a fair assessment to make?
Yeah.
How do you stay on top of that then?
The enabling technology is continually growing. People will be familiar with the fact that there's increasing processing power, increasing resolution in video. We're going from standard definition to high definition. Most people have got a high definition camera or movie recorder.
So we are in James Bond territory.
I think so, yes, to some extent, yes. But the question is, what do you do with this enabling technology? And making sense of information is really what we're about here. And that's as true in the military world as it is in the commercial world.
Fantastic. So you're a long way away from home. You're from Cambridgeshire, aren't you?
Yes, that's right, in the UK, yes.
So what brings you to India and what are you doing here?
Business prospects, really. We're excited that we work with Indian partners based in a number of the larger Indian cities, and they're bringing us two opportunities in India, particularly in the military arena, that we think will work well. We think we've got quite a lot to offer in terms of the kind of capability that I've described, and the Indian military as well as the Indian economy has a growing need to fit out and to do midlife upgrades on across multiple programs. So I'm excited to be here. India is
a big market, or is likely to be a big market for you.
It's a big market for us already. We've been working in the Indian market for a number of years. This is not something new to us. but we're continually looking for ways to develop new opportunities with our partners.
And do you supply prime here, or are you doing the sub to the primes as you are in the US or other markets?
We would be supplying into the primes mainly in this
Here
particular
as
instance,
well.
working with our partners. Yes.
Brilliant,
Yeah,
excellent,
that's right.
excellent. Well,
Yes.
good news to hear that India is, a hot market for you.
Absolutely.
The last
yes.
question, really, Andrew.
Yeah.
Brought up in Surrey.
Yes, that's right.
Went to school in Southampton. Working in Cambridgeshire. What drives you? What motivates you?
What motivates me? That's a great question. I suppose you'll get a lot of different answers to that. I'm a Christian, that drives me. I follow the Lord Jesus Christ, and that brings assurance, joy, and a reason for living. My family drive me too. I have 4 children of different ages. I love being with them. I love being with my wife, who's I've been with for almost 20 years now. That drives me. My interests drive me. Reading, culture, music, that interests me, that stimulates me. I love travel. I love experiencing different cultures. Certainly visiting India on several occasions recently has been a real eye-opener for me in a really, really positive way. So that's me in a nutshell.
And why don't you sum up your experiences in India? What is it that you like about India or not like about India?
I love the history,
Uh-huh.
and I love the people, the warmth and the hospitality and the kindness that I've been shown. Just on the few visits that I've been here have been really notable. I've enjoyed getting to know people. I found people very, very open, very welcoming. And
Fabulous.
you can't say that for every culture.
Fabulous. And on that
you can't
note,
say that for British culture necessarily. So thanks for the opportunity to talk about.
on that note, thank you very much, Andrew.
Thank you
Look
so much,
forward to
Rajiv.
further such
Thank you.
conversations.
Thank you. Thank
Cheers.
you.